Welcome to the Aaron Russos podcast. Today's episode is about an electric car. Electric car pulls up, lady gets out, mother gets out, and I'm like, mother's a little bit elderly, like I'm, feeling like compelled to run over and say, oh my God, you realise that this electric car is contributing to your disease, risk, or do you understand that it's not good for you? Then she goes around the other side of the car and pulls a baby out. I don't know why this upsets me so much. I don't know why I can't not like I'm holding myself back. Obviously, the people that I'm talking about don't know what I've studied for the last 30 years, or do you know what I mean? They don't know my... So if I went over and said, do you realise that this car is not good? And if I, knowing what I know, as even a physicist, and from the experiments that I've had with my magnetic field reader and also the documentation, what it does, and I definitely wouldn't drive on myself, but if I had to, limited access, but I definitely wouldn't use it for my daily commute and with the baby. That's just setting that kid up. Now, I don't know what else is going in the kid's life, but obviously now, by the time he's a teenager, on the list of Dispositional Index, he's got the good list, the bad list, and on the bad list, he's already got 15, 20 years of exposure, his daily commute with on the bad list. So it's not a great start. So we probably should have been immunised. He's probably had hepatitis C, which is for sexually transmitted diseases. All babies get that. I think they've just stopped doing that. That was fucking ridiculous. Hey, let's give a newborn baby a cocktail, a chemical cocktail of something that will protect them from a sexually transmitted disease. A newborn baby. Let's give them all that. Who the fuck thinks that's fucking okay, normal, even a fucking slight oversight or some shit? That's fucked, mate. What sort of a fucking idiot? I would be going back if I was in charge and going back and going, excuse me, who fucking said it's okay to give the kids, the babies, newborn babies, this chemical concoction for a sexually transmitted disease as a newborn? Who, even though there's a fucking schedule, which there's different things come in at different times, who would be in charge of that decision? Who signed off on that one? What one person was the final pen that decided it's okay to give a newborn baby a chemical concoction of a vaccine for hepatitis? That name, that person needs to be brought to justice to find out what was going through their mind and what data and information did they have at their fingertips to make such an informed decision on such an impactful thing for a child, for anyone. All right? So let's see if we can find that person, okay? Can anybody? I think they started to rectify it in America. I don't know if they have in Australia. Probably not. Not a biggie. Do you know what I mean? If we're in the game of suppressing the whole race, everyone on the planet, if we're playing a game to keep everyone below a certain level so they don't wake up, so they don't require the system, then we got some work to do. If you think that's okay, you think that's life, that's normal, just to go along and have nothing that is the truth whatsoever, if you think that's normal, we the people are the majority, but we're the dumb majority, because we, the couple of people that control we the people, are a lot more intelligent than us. So, we've all got free choice, free will. We're all given that. So we're able to go looking for any answers that we want and to find them. So, interesting times. Something that you don't know, which is quite interesting, is that we're marking down now 5 remaining years to end out a huge shift on the planet. If you look back through all ancient civilizations, texts, calendars, all the different stuff that you will find from prophets, and some you don't know, some you know, it's all there, it's all history recorded. And then within that stuff, what you'll find is a pattern of prophets. Prophets. Now, what do prophets do? Prophesize. What are they doing? They're saying, oh, look, based on where things are going, and there's a field, and there's potentials, and this is most likely going to happen. And then these prophets are very good. They can also get in intuitively, and it was easier in the past, yeah. But anyway, everything of such prophesizing, all the prophets, all the people, all the calendars, all the ancient civilizations, the Mayan calendars, they seem to all finish in 1213. And in the past, all the doomsdayers, because it's always been about doomsday, even Y2K, when the year 2000 was coming, we're all in fear that it was just going to blow up. What idiots. And so we thought, well, some people thought it was the end of time. Some people thought it was the end of the world, end of thing. But in fact, I'll tell you what it was. There's no use beating around the bush. What it was that they didn't write anything past them, because no group of humans on Earth had ever gone past that marker before. It was a marker, here on Earth we have duality, ego versus intuition, yin versus yang, and basically, look, we're given through those choices, through that free choice, to take us to places. It's not right or wrong, it just takes us to different places. And in the past, people on this rock, on the earth, have not lasted before. We've wiped ourselves out, whether it be ourselves, natural disasters, and depending on where you look and who you talk to and what you know, you could say there could have been 4 or 5 goes before us. Either way, all 5 of those, none of them had ever lasted to where we are right now on the planet. And that's back in 2013. So there was nothing after that. They weren't sure, were we going to make it? Were we going to pass the marker? What happens if we do pass the marker? The marker is also concurrently going on right in the middle of a shift. The shift is, astrology, we know we're going from an age of Pisces to Aquarius, is it? Each age is approximately 2,150 years long, all different sorts to do with the astrological calendar, to which I know nothing about astrology. But I do know that this age is upon us. There is a shift. Now, even if you look at the last time we were between ages, Jesus was here. So this time there's no Jesus and stuff. Well, we don't know yet, do we? But this other shift is called the Precession of the Equinoxes, and it's a 26,000 year wobble, and we got 5 years left of it. Okay, it was on the, it's a 36-year window, 18 years in, 18 years out, and the finish date is 2030. What is, there's a lot of change, and believe it or not, change, we're not good at change. We're very good at slow, uncomfortable change, which has been happening here on the planet for a long time. We just don't see the bigger picture. We don't understand the system we're part of. We don't understand how we work. So therefore, some people have had to take a guess. Some people have had to go, and some people have just, that's all they knew at the time, and that's what they did. Did we get it right? No. Did we get it wrong? Not completely either. So you've got that thing where everything's always about 85% truth and the rest is just this garbage that doesn't belong. And it's not until you become aware of everything that, you need to know something before you can see whether it fits. If you know what the creator of the universe, the one that we call God, if you know the essence of God, being the creator of the universe, creating a universe that has a bias, and the bias is love. So, pretty cool dude to be able to, you know what I mean? Not to be able to create all this, but to create it in a beautiful image of love and have that as the bias, pretty amazing. And so the life that we're all leading because of this shift, it's actually, we're in new territory. We're in a new zone. We've never been this far before. So there's a reason. There's, over the veil when we're not here, in the spiritual side of things, there's doing and done. And so I guess it's probably more important to know that if you know what the system is, and you can apply filters to know whether it's part of it or not. So at the moment, if you're not sure of something, like you're online, I'll give you an example that I used the other day. I was online, and I don't have any social media. It's in my Q&As, but I do have YouTube channel, which are my podcasts, for my podcast. And so I get on there, and there's this thing, the Galactic Federation declaring that this and that and the other, and I got on there and I was just concerned. I was like, hey guys, I'm just a bit concerned here. you know, when we leave here, we become beings of light, and you know, we ascend, and from that day on, there's no war, there's no aggression, no negativity. So there's no need for any form of galactic federation, or you know, Jesus's tale of things. Even you know, Archangel Michael is just known as Michael. There's no hierarchy in multi-dimensional esoteric spiritual worlds, you know, because we've all grown up, we've graduated. Do you know what I mean? You know what's right. You know, here is duality. You have to logically work something out with the yin, the yang, the ego versus intuition and stuff. And then, but over there, you already know what's right. So everyone just does the right thing. Do you get that? So, completely different story when you don't have to worry about people doing the wrong thing. Everyone knows what's right. And that's what that knowing is, that beautiful knowing. It's beautiful. So I get online, I'm like, hey guys, you do know that there's no such thing. I'm in contact communication, not only with the Creator, but with our star parents, the Pleiadians. And there is no such thing. There's never been a galactic federation. We're not part of a galactic war, or once you get there, you're ascended, you're graduated, you don't fight anymore, so there's no star groups. All of that shit online is false. So a huge chunk of your online life that you see at the corner of your eye, because you take in sub-beliefs through your senses, and so you've got all of these people with star groups, galactic federation, this one, there was another one today, and all the rest of it. There's no such thing. So if you know the system that you're part of, and you know everything, you know the essence of it, you know it true, the core truth, then you can apply filters, and you know what's part of life and what's a total crock of shit. And so that whole alien thing is a whole crock of shit. We don't have star groups, an alien family group, because we are part of all of them. Okay, does that make sense? Maybe I'll explain it. The Pleiadians came here when they graduated after 1 million years, right? Their planet graduated, the whole collective, the whole lot of them ascended. And then as a privilege, they were allowed to look in the galaxy for another planet that's ripe for seeding. And guess what? It was Earth. There were 17 types of humans walking the Earth, and one was chosen, and that was us. And look, before the Pleiadians, they had the Arcturians. They graduated, ascended, and they were able to go and find another planet or star system that were ripe and ready for seeding, and that was the Pleiadians. So can you see already we have our parents is one group, our grandparents is the next group. The next group that seeded them was our great-grandparents. There was some that didn't make it. Back in the very, 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 very start, there was lots that didn't make it. Okay? So basically, we are part of all the star groups. Okay? Aliens are just us in another 1 million years. Okay? And there's reasons. Could you imagine us ascending and moving that far forward? And then they seeded us, right? They're like a parent figure. They do come and check on us quite often. And we have this other thing called the Merkaba. And the Merkaba has a lot of revealing things. At the moment, you can look at me and not know that I've got mental health issues or, health issues and other things and deep-seated within me. But with the Merkaba, our star family can look at that and can see that we have health problems and other emotional problems. There's nothing that we can hide from these, and that means that also when they come to check on us and say they were in a spaceship just out of the sky one night and they were one of those stars that you were looking up into the sky at night, they would look back down on us and see a whole myriad of Merkabas, and that would tell them whether it's safe to land. And at the moment they would see it and it wouldn't be the colour. I mean, we are so young in our infancy. If it's 1,000,000 years and we're only maybe 100,000, 200,000 at most into that 1 million. So we've got a long way to go, but most importantly, it's not safe for them to land at the moment. There's lots of things that have to take place. It's not about, like here on Earth, where it's always about developing and getting more and more and up and up. In other, when you graduate and stuff, it's more about, like with us, our DNA. We don't know what's in 96.5% of our DNA, but there's a time capsule in there, and as you develop and as Mother Nature and the planet and Gaia and everything will cycle, and time capsules will be released within you, and different things that was always meant to be part of it is part of it. There's also the other side of it where our immune systems are shot, our DNA efficacy is at all-time lows, and while actively there's something happening in this shift that'll trigger and fix that. That also means that at the moment our DNA is not working 100%. It's not working as it should be. And so there's a whole question about all the different things that happen when your DNA is operating at 100%. And I'm going to tell you one of 100, right? You cut your arm off, it grows back if your DNA is working at 100% efficacy. It's only at 30% at the moment, okay? That's just one thing out of 100 that happens when we operate the way, in the way that everything was given to us originally. So the shift is a good catalyst for sparking that thing with the DNA. Young people, because of the frequency, because of the they're going to be born into a higher consciousness frequency, so they're going to already have the upgrade. Okay, at least half of it they're already going to have. The other half they'll unlock by awakening and developing here while they're here. You and me, we will have to move energy around and do a little bit more we're not born into this higher consciousness frequency energy to be able to get the DNA upgrades automatically. So it doesn't mean that we don't get them, it just means that we have to do something to get them. And some of you will be instinctively just subconsciously doing it without even knowing it. And some of you are energy workers, some of you can feel what's going on. You can tell there's a bit of a movement on Earth and that something's happening that's pretty special. So I got on to tell you about an electric car, and now we've gone just a full gambit. And look, I'm not, how would I say this? if I go to you in your electric car and say, oh, no, that's really bad for your health, it's in the field with on the list with telephones, trauma. It's just one of those things that's on the list. You could drive your Tesla around, have a very healthy life, and never have a health problem at all. But if you have a large list of unhealthy things that contribute, and then you've got a whole lot of unhealthy things on the list that you have done intensively every day for 20 years, and so your list, your formula, there's an Excel spreadsheet on my website where you can actually work out what your dispositional index would be, and then all the unhealthy things coming at you, and whether you would get a disease from it. So it might not happen, but it's just something that, look, I'll be honest with you, I'd drive, I'd probably go in a electric car. I've driven a hybrid before, but I wouldn't make it my daily car. Do you know what I mean? It's like McDonald's. It's like fast food. It's your guilty fucking, I know it's bad for me, do it every now and then, not every day sort of thing. And everything I say also, if you have all these healthy things on the list and you drive your car, then it's not going to really be a problem. I don't think it's at the stage where we need to. Well, we definitely need to monitor it and keep the testing and third-party independent testing up and stuff, because we could be doing some major damage and not even knowing it. And in the past, like with history, we've done that a lot. We've let things get through with money or politics or fucking, you know what I mean? We're not the squeakiest, cleanest ever, any of us, across any country, anywhere in the world, because we all copy each other, and we're all, into corruption and greed and all the rest of it. So we're all copying each other. So no one's gone, hey, let's not do that. Let's just do what's best for humanity, or let's just do like I'm looking after this area. Let's just do what's best, and let's stop and draw a line in the sand from now on. Let's ask ourselves a couple of questions to where these things are going to lead us in the future. And we can get a system of continuous improvement, stop, start, continue, and we can start righting the wrongs, correcting things in the past that simply aren't true, which there's a lot of, and start merging it back into something that is going to deliver what humans deserve. Because what humans have got on this earth, as a collective, each and every one of you should be very angry. You should be completely pissed off and absolutely irate if you knew what was being done to you. Every single one of you would be absolutely disgusted to know that basically everything that you know is a fucking lie. I'm sorry, there's no way to sugarcoat it. I'm not here to be the bearer of bad news, but at the end of the day, your whole fucking life is a lie. There is not one part of it that you can say is genuinely your fucking life. It's a lie. You don't need me to explain why it's a lie, how it's a lie, but everything is. And then on top of that, every single one of you in that system has been been made, just like I was too, to have fears, insecurities, wounds, childhood wounds, traumas, and these then stop you from using free will because you get triggered in life because you're hurt from things, and so your responses aren't your own. So then you do things and act in a way based on the level of fear you have. And because the propaganda machine, the mainstream media, the education, teaching you how to be compliant, everything that you see in your world fits that picture. So unfortunately, it's a lie, every single bit of it. I've just spent 7 years transmuting fears, wounds, childhood wounds, traumas, dealing with kinesiologists, forgiving people that I will never get an apology from that have wronged me. Absolutely deconditioning myself to all that has been humanly conditioned through my senses. Traumas, I've had in the past had traumas and had seen kinesiologists, but other ones popped up and things were triggering me and everything, and to get to a state, that's why you're all triggered. You shouldn't be getting triggered by all these little things. That is what life has done to you. Yeah? It has made you respond. If someone comes along and says it's no reason to get triggered, right? And in the past, when I got triggered, I ran. Now, when I get triggered, I sit in it and I enjoy it, enjoy the pain, and I go, oh, this is fucking uncomfortable, isn't it? This is disgusting. I hate this energy, but I'm going to slow it right down. I'm going to pick it all apart. Let's go. Explain this to me. I don't understand what you're saying from your point. And I'm going to keep going and going and going. And that fear is going to melt away. It's going to transmute. It's going to be to a point where why were we even triggered in the first place was because we were conditioned in the first place. Many of us don't realise how much conditioning has actually taken place. Now, in a lot of things, one of the first things that, when I healed myself, what I noticed was when I added compassion and kindness to old problems, I got new solutions. And so it's the same with this fear and this triggering, The other day I had someone, I don't know who it is, but this person on my walking route is a little bit bipolar maybe, and likes to fucking call out what's on my shirt, or here he is. I've never spoken to this person, right? And I'm not paranoid, do you know what I mean? It is what it is. But in the older energy, that would fucking trigger me. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, go and get fat or whatever. I'd smile and, embrace this or whatever. So there's another guy down the other end. And that's been here for 3 years, total aggressive, so probably not a... How would you say, I don't know, the sort of gang people. Do you know what I mean? Little gang and hang out, and this guy's like the leader of it. If I was ever in a bad mood years ago and I hated the world before I was fully healed, if I was ever in a fucking bad mood, I'd go straight past him and wait for him to fucking start on me because I wanted to go him. And his whole gang, mate. Like, they could just tear me apart in shreds in seconds, but when I used to get angry, that's where I go. So obviously now, I walk past and he says something and I go, hey dude, sorry man, what did you say? And I slow him down. And then he starts treating me like a person rather than someone that's walking past looking down on him because that's all he's ever had. I get to another level of understanding. So compassion and kindness added to anything gets a better outcome than what you had before. So now I walk past this guy and I stop and I slow down and I don't treat him like everyone else treats him, because his reaction to his traumas and his thing is everyone walking past him every day looking down on him while he's drinking and smoking fucking rubbish around him, and he just doesn't give a fuck. Some people are not well, they're not, whatever. The beauty of this world, and one of the greatest things is that we can do is we can say, you can do what you want and I won't interfere, but as a thing of respect, I get the same, leave me alone, right or wrong. Sometimes, you know what I mean, I want to rise and fall to my own sword lessons or whatever. I'll listen to everyone, I'm always open and receptive. That's one good thing about the reason. One good thing, I guess you could use yourself. If you ever wanted to find the answer to something, just know you need to be fully open and receptive to receive it. If any part of you is closed off, you have restricted the answer from coming to you, regardless of where you think or whether there's an answer on earth or not. I've found the answer to things that I couldn't find here on earth looking through 8,000 medical documents, by being in total open and receptive to every single thing, and obviously when you run out of options here on earth, there's spiritual things you hear about, and and I'm no different to you. I'm a great, I'll go to a medium and go, well, how do you do it? Where do you think? Are you hearing voices? Get to the fucking bottom of it. Everyone needs to justify what they are. You don't go to a psychic medium and just take whatever they want and sit and say, right? That's how charlatans have fucking got into business, by not being transparent. Everything should be transparent. So you go there and you go, okay, but you're a medium. What do you tap into? What do you know what I mean? Who are you? I know the way it works now, right? So then you can ask questions, and how does this work? A few years ago, I said to this kinesiologist guy, and I'm like, you're muscle testing, but could I learn that test and then learn how to muscle test my girlfriend and go, are you cheating on me? And she's going, no, because there's a moral line that you can't cross over. And I'm like, well, it's not moral for someone to go and cheat on you, but then I can't fucking go behind your back and muscle test you and ask you, you know what I mean? It's like, interesting. And then obviously now me working with the innate is in another level anyway. But it's very interesting. You guys are going to be very excited when you've seen nothing change really in in the last 2,000 years. And you heard some big stories about Big J-Dog, what he did when he was here, fucking parting the sea, fucking walking on water, turning fucking nothing into food and all that shit, right? So you've seen nothing of that, but you've heard all this shit from like 2,000 years ago, and then now we're in this shift. The last 5 years of the shift, because of all that, when I told you are fucking living a lie and in the lie, that's why you can't see the shift. Right? It makes sense, right? The lie is part of the old system, which the shift is part of an awakening system, and the two don't mix, okay? Because one is your sovereignty, one is what you're entitled to as a human, as a collective. We're all actually, every single one of us have the exact same piece of the Creator in us. So we're all connected and all this stuff, right? And then all that other stuff, that lie stuff, is because someone hijacked our natural system. Okay? So someone hijacked our whole complete natural system, and that's why we've got what we got. And it is what it is. And it was the last line I'm going to give you in this podcast is, you didn't think it was going to be like that forever, did you? Because in the next 5 years, you're going to see more change and more human potential than you ever thought humanly possible in 1,000 lifetimes. I'll leave you with that.